What's up, everybody? So welcome back to my channel, and if you haven't noticed, I'm not in the angler at the moment. I'm in Fishing Planet, and the reason for that is two things really. Fishing Planet actually has a Halloween thing going on, and the second reason is I recorded a complete video for the angler and accidentally completely butchered my audio, so I have to go back over and actually do a voiceover on that because the commentary is completely useless. So I thought it'd be a good excuse to hop into the Fishing Planet for a little bit and I guess see what the Halloween event is. I believe they do like an event for everything. I just checked to see if they had a Halloween thing up, and they do, so here we are. Not really super familiar with it. I haven't played Fishing Planet for a very long time. I usually play the Fisherman, which is essentially Fishing Planet without being harassed quite as much to buy things, if I remember right. But yeah, anyway, the first mission said to go to Lone Star Lake and I guess do some stuff for a Druid Stone. You're gonna see me bumble around a lot here. I don't remember the controls, but hopefully it doesn't take too long to actually get used to them again. They're a fair bit different from the angler. I'm just wandering around now looking for different Halloween things. I seem to recall they do this for everything. That's why I'm kind of looking around. Like I remember like St. Patrick's Day, I believe, had a thing. I think they do something for Christmas, and I'm not sure. It's almost always like stuff on the ground you could pick up. So I will say without a doubt, my gear is not. There's the empty hand thing. You can't really tell when I'm just randomly hitting buttons to try to figure out what they do. Yeah, my gear is not set up right. I don't really know if I have to catch fish here, but if I do, I might have to buy something because I know I don't have anything to catch them. I don't seem to recall the fish here being really big, and I think my smallest hook at the moment's like it's a 6-aught, maybe. I don't know. Now I'm just looking around for the there's a Druid Stone over here somewhere. Those stupid sounds are probably gonna get me at some point. Okay, here's the stone, I think. Yeah. Okay, so Druid Stone will help you restore balance. Feed it with power, and you need to collect several items. Okay. So I need mushrooms. Catch some fish, that might be a problem. And some frogs. And bones. So hopefully there's a grave nearby I can get. I think there's like a time limit on the ones. Oh, there's a mushroom. Okay, cool. So they don't actually light up or anything, so this might be interesting. Hopefully I don't miss too many of them. There's some. Kind of hard to actually get them. There's a gravestone, maybe I can get it. Okay, yeah, so there's the bone. Yeah, I thought they had a timer, it's an hour, so. Okay, more mushrooms. There's another one. I will say, like, the movement in this game is pretty clunky, but it's nowhere near as bad as the Angler. So it is actually a lot easier to control where your character's going. You don't feel like you're skating quite as much. There's another mushroom. So there's some lily pads I can probably catch frogs off of, but I don't know if they need a special hook. If they need a smaller hook, I do not have that. Hopefully it's just like a snag type thing and I can just use whatever. You probably can't tell in the video, but those are loud. I have headphones on and it's super loud. Okay, catch some fish and frogs. I'll try what I have now, but I don't think it's going to work. I'm not even entirely sure I remember how to fish, but we'll see. Spooky spin. So I bought the DLC for the Hellfire, whatever, the Druid one. I think it's like a Druid related or something. And then there's the spooky Halloween DLC type thing. It has a few extra rods. And the reason I did that, I'm only level 9 in this, and I don't have rods at all. I don't have reels. I don't have anything. So I bought the DLC to hopefully give me an opportunity to record these. I don't have a whole lot of time to do it. I think it's like less than 10 days, 9 days maybe. Probably go past Halloween with the videos at least. We'll see how many it takes to, or at least how far I can get. I don't know if we'll be able to complete it or not. Depends on how grindy it gets, really. Because I remember the game being kind of grindy, which is why I played the Fisherman. But I don't know if it's even as grindy as the Angler. So, backlash with weeds. I've been there before. I don't know if I said it in another video, but first time with the baitcaster, I used mono. And I didn't intentionally do it, but I guess I was just tired. It was a long day, and I snagged, which I was trying to get it loose, but mono's stretchy, and that stretch was just killing me. And I reached behind me where I had my rod, and my intention was to grab it, release the spool, and then pull the line out so I didn't, completely wreck my line or whatever. And I accidentally hit the button before I let the tension off of it, and I just heard the most god awful. Okay, there's a frog. So I can't catch the frog on this. Yeah, it was like the most god awful, grindy, crackly sound, and I just knew that my line was just totally just bust. So, yeah, accident, but it was the only backlash. It was so bad that I had to cut out half of my line. Okay, so the good news is we can catch the frogs. Mostly just like a snag, which I guess I understand, but I seem to have a thing with frogs with fishing too. It seems like they scare the crap out of me more than anything. Which, to actually start doing videos again with real fishing, you'll probably see that. If I don't know if I've done it in a video yet, but they have a habit of jumping like right by my feet, freaking me out. Okay, so hopefully the frogs aren't too difficult. So far, this doesn't seem that grindy, and I'm hoping it isn't too grindy moving forward, but I don't know. Some of it's going to be really difficult because I don't have the equipment that I necessarily need. Like, if it comes to like carp fishing and stuff, let's see if I can find. But yeah, if it comes to like carp fishing, I think I only have one, actually. This is an 8-aught hook. There's no way I'm catching anything in here with an 8-aught hook. I'm almost certainly going to have to buy something a little bit smaller. Maybe like a spoon or something. Maybe if I can find something cheap. But honestly, speaking of spoon, I caught my first fish on a spoon. There's another backlash. It might have been the last fish I caught this year. I caught it on a Castmaster, so sort of a spoon. It's the only one I've ever actually caught on a spoon, though. Where I live, it's very bad bottoms for spoons. You snag them like crazy. Okay, we need 2 more frogs, 3 fish. See, I don't know how this is now. I think in the past it was more expensive to buy stuff at the location. I have a frog, do I? I have a rag. So I'm basically just dragging this across the top of the lily pads and hoping I get something. I know this sounds kind of crazy compared to my other videos, but I kind of hope we get to float fishing soon because I have homework to do. And the benefit of this is I can actually do float fishing during homework and during work. So I'll actually be able to record a fair bit. Okay, there's another frog. So 1 more to go. Then we have to figure out the fish situation. Yeah, I have a paper due on later this week. It's a fairly large paper, but I'm mostly done with it. It's just cleaning up a lot of stuff, and it's very class. I absolutely hate. No part of me has any interest in doing this class professionally, like this type of thing professionally. And I didn't actually have the ability to take anything else, so it's a bag. 1 more frog. I didn't actually have the ability to take anything else, so I'm kind of stuck with it. And it's like either I do this or I have to pay like $2 grand for another class, and it's not. I have an A. I just need to keep the A. It's just a very painful class, and it's the only one I've had in this degree so far, so. Which I guess is good. I had a lot worse classes in my undergrad. Please be a frog. And then we really have to figure out the fish situation. Okay, frog. Cool. Now I don't know. I'm almost certainly going to have to figure out the fish situation here. This menu is weird. Like, I'm sure it's better on PC, it's just really confusing on console. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. That's why you see me, like, seriously screw everything up. Yeah, if you ever see me just randomly go to different categories than I intend to go to, that's, keep hitting the bumper and the trigger and all that. So this is 5 a lot. It's 8 bait coins. I don't really want to pay that. I'd like to try to avoid using bait coins. I think that's what they're called. I believe they're bait coins. So we're not going to get a spinner. Crankbaits. The slimy crank that I've been using, so that's not going to work. I have stuff I could use. I'm just trying to avoid going back to the global map because I don't know if it costs money for here or not, but sometimes it does. What about spoons? This might actually work. What is this, a number 4? Well, the problem is my rod's kind of heavy, so actually I don't know what. We might be able to use the 1/6 ounce. Size 4 would probably catch fish here too, so give this a shot. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's too light. It's a heavy rod. You know, whatever. We don't really need to cast far, so maybe this will be alright. We just need to cast. Yeah, that's not too far, but it's not terrible. That might be able to catch like crappie or something. I do not remember how to fish here. So this is like. I think you can do like. There's like a drag and drop maybe or something like that. There's a twitching. Maybe it's like stop and go and twitching. Or there's also stop and go. Stop and go is just real. I used to play the fisherman a lot. You can see I'm only level 9 on this, so that's a good time to catch a frog. Cool. I have a marker out here, which I don't remember what that's for, but I'm assuming probably crappie. So let's see. I'll just try to stop and go. That's pretty easy. Maybe I'll catch something. If I'm not mistaken, you can just use the right trigger and just like stop and go constantly for the stop and go. I think if you reel consistently and twitch the rod, it's twitching. And then I think there's one that you can lift and drop, maybe. Probably some drag and drop. There's like a lift and drop where you kind of alternate. Alright, we got a fish, right? White crappie. That was close. So cool. Trophy fish. So we can catch fish here. So maybe this won't be too terrible. Yeah, see, if you do like one rotation and stop, and one rotation and stop, just watch it go up and down a little bit. It counts as a stop and go. This probably would have been way easier if I had a rod set up for it, which I actually did, but I took it out of my inventory because I didn't think I would need to catch fish here. Speaking of heavy rods, though, I actually need one in real life. I don't. That's the one thing I do not have at this point. I don't have a heavy, and I only have like 2 medium heavy, and I'm not a huge fan of either one of them. They're well, the one's okay. The Was that a fish that smacked me in the face? Okay, cool. One to go. Like, the one's okay, but the other's an ugly stick, and ugly sticks aren't bad. They're just not ideal, I guess. They're heavy. I don't like fishing with really heavy, improperly balanced rods. I prefer like the lighter rod that's not gonna wear me out after the day of fishing. I think my ugly stick's actually a casting rod, which I'm not a fan of bait casting. I have a moonshine medium heavy spinning rod, which I don't mind. I just never use it. It's 7 feet long. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of 7 foot rods, but I need to be. You can barely get a rod under 6'10". It's just not that big of a deal anymore since I have a kayak that I'm going to actually be able to fish off of more often, which means I need longer rods. I have a lot of very short creek rods right now. See, I'll be honest, I know this is still pretty similar to what you do in the angler, but this is still it's a better experience, honestly. I kind of feel like the angler is a little slow for what. Yeah, that was. We'll not talk about that one. I feel like the angler's a little bit slow for what it should be on some missions. Just kind of takes a while. Yeah, it just makes some of the missions feel really a lot longer than they need to be. Like another benefit of Fishing Planet is the fact that it's kind of weird how you got to go to different places. You have to pay to travel there, and they're really small and all that, but you also don't have to travel nearly as much on foot like you do in the angler. I think I think the angler it's okay. It's just a lot of really wide open world type stuff, and it ends up being pretty drawn out. Like everything's more drawn out than it needs to be. Like here, if you have a mission, you can just knock it out and basically knock it out and move on to another. Usually have to travel around a lot, but you don't have to walk a lot. You can just go fish, and I think that's more beneficial when it comes to a game like this. course, I don't have a lot of experience with other fishing games, so I'm not too sure how they do it, but I do kind of prefer this over the Angler in general. And if you guys want to watch it, then maybe we'll upload more on here. I do need to level up my character so I can access more stuff. Only being level 9 is kind of... Another fish? Is that the last one? Or, yeah. Alright, cool. So that's it. And we can go back to the stone and figure out what the next one is. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to fish anymore this year in real life. It's going to get me so much. It's been really rainy, really wet, really cold. It's just getting colder. I mean, we only had a few days over 70. Well, we've been doing this for 20 minutes. About a few days that are 70s, but overall, it's just been too cold, too miserable. Okay, so we need the witch's broom. Carp ghosts. Probably gonna have to look up some of this stuff, figure out how to actually catch them, or figure out if I can catch them with what I have, but I think we're gonna cut the video here, and in the next one we will move on to the witch's broom. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and enjoy listening to me ramble. But if you like it, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next. A whopping 377 credits. Yeah. See you in the next one.